You already know what time it is, man. It's your boy, Grown Man Business TV. Feel what I'm saying? Now listen, man. You could tap in, you could tap out, but you know my slogan. You know what I suggest. And yeah, I suggest you tap in. So let's get right into it. Now listen, man, you already know time and energy are the highest forms of currency, my G. Time, energy, the highest forms of currency. I know they got you out here chasing the bag, chasing that money, getting to that moolah, but always keep it in the front of your mental Rolodex that time and energy are the highest forms of currency at all times, my G's. Big salute to all my day one investors, everybody that's tapped into the channel, everybody that know that we are growing this channel organically. Yeah, it is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. Constant elevation. We on our way to the top, and we are not stopping. Even bigger salute to all my newcomers, all my new subscribers, all my new investors, everybody that's making their way to the Realest channel on YouTube. Yeah, I said that. The Realest channel on YouTube, my G's. Listen, man, I carved out a lane for the real, and I'm the only one in it. You got to understand that. I carved out a lane for the real, and I'm the only one that's driving in this lane. So big salute to all my newcomers. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button. Make sure y'all are tapped into Grown Man Business TV. Is what it is. Be what it's going to be. Big salute. Now, you already know. You see where I'm at. I'm back at the big house. Yeah. I've been crossing state lines at all times. You already see I'm thugged out, rugged, no haircut, nothing. Straight from the muscle, my G. Crossing state lines at all times. And I'm back at the big house. And you got to know something, man. You see the title. You see the thumbnail. You feel what I'm saying? You know, day one, a young Dolph. The assassination of a young king. The assassination of the real king of Memphis. You know, the suspects, the people that were in that video are now sitting in court in front of them dog fur having people, and they're saying, yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. You know, and I got to say something, man. You know, everybody's talking about this right now. Everybody is locked in with young Dolph and the murder suspects and everything that's going on. But you got to know something, man. I got videos on this channel with over 250,000 views talking about Dolph, talking about Empire Death Row Records, talking about everything that went down with the situation with young Dolph out there in Memphis, man. Nasty work. You understand what I'm saying? And when I saw the content that was being posted yesterday about the testimony of one of the shooters in Dolph case, man, I ain't gonna lie, man. It was very disheartening. It was very disheartening to listen to that testimony. You understand what I'm saying? But you gotta know this. The truth is gonna be the truth, regardless if you like it or not. The truth is gonna be the truth. The real is gonna be the real. And that testimony was so vivid. It was so real. The video was in it was in HD. It was in 4K. It was so vivid that I had to sit with that information. I could have went live yesterday like everybody else because it's a numbers game. Everybody wanna get numbers. The YouTube streets need a body. And when it's a body in the streets, everybody gonna pick off the bones of that body. I get it, respectfully. But I had to sit with that. And I really had to let my mind wrap around what was going on and what's still going on with this trial, homie. It's nasty work what they did to young Dolph out there in Memphis, Tennessee, man. Absolutely disgusting work. You know what I'm saying? It rivals Nipsey Hussle. I ain't gonna lie. It's on, you know, young Dolph and Nipsey Hussle is like the same level. It's the same level of disgust. You understand? So, you know, if you ain't been sleeping under a rock, you already know. You know, it was a guy, one of the shooters. He said that Big Juk put $100,000 hit on Dolph, and he put money on everybody in PRE. He put money on their head. He really wanted, you know, war with PRE. Now, one thing for sure, two things for certain. The reason why you come here to Grown Man Business TV is because it get deep, it get wicked, and it's always deeper than rap. And we scratching the surface here at all times. You understand what I'm saying? It get deep, it get wicked, and it's always deeper than rap. And you got to know, the majority of these content creators did not scratch the surface. The majority of these content creators only spoke on and recited the things that they heard and they saw in that trial. And that's respectfully. You understand? Because I don't expect everybody to be able to see through the smoke and mirrors. I don't expect everybody to be able to point out, you know what I mean, the nasty work. the higher ups and the elites, what's really going on. That's why this channel is so valuable. That's why the voice is more powerful than CNN. The voice is more powerful than Fox News. The voice is more powerful than DJ Envy and Charlamagne the God playing butt tag every morning on the Breakfast Club. That's why this channel is powerful. Because you got to know something. I've been talking about the situation with Empire Death Row Records. I've been pointing the finger at the higher ups and the elites, Ghazi. And then it comes down the chain of command. So a lot of people is in the DM, and big salute to everybody in the DM. It's a lot of people in the DM saying, yo, GMB TV, they saying Big Juk had Dolph killed. Big Juk put the $100,000 on Dolph's head. You understand what I'm saying? What was you talking about? Empire Death Row Records, X, Y, and Z. What was you talking about? And see, that's why I'm going live right now. That's what we gonna talk about right now. Because nobody is gonna give you this information other than Grown Man Business TV. Now listen, man. You know, before we get into the meat and potatoes of this situation, no Diddy, I just want to express a couple of things because like I said, man, it's more than content with me. It's grown man business. And grown man business is universal. Grown man business is something that should be celebrated. Grown man business is something that should be pinpointed amongst grown men. And, you know, when young Dolph lost his life, man, I was in a whole different phase of my life. You understand? It's been years since young Dolph lost his life. And I ain't gonna lie, within those years of Dolph losing his life to right now, present day, I have grown so much, homie. I have done so much evolving. I have taken things to a whole nother level. You understand what I'm saying? But being as though being as though I've evolved, being as though as I'm not the same person I was when I was first talking about young Dolph and what happened to him, his assassination, I'm seeing this thing from, a whole different angle. I'm seeing this thing from a whole different perspective. And it's, like I said, man, it's nasty work. It's nasty work, man. And we got to be able to pinpoint that grown man business and celebrate that grown man business before these dudes lose their life, before they are assassinated. Because that's what that was, an assassination. Young Dolph had one of the biggest real estate portfolios in Tennessee, in Memphis, Tennessee alone. That's something that young Dolph didn't celebrate. That's something that young Dolph didn't talk about. You understand what I'm saying? And we're going to talk more about that because the message is smoking Zaza. You know what I'm saying? It's major. And rapping about all the destruction in the community the whole time. You got over 150 properties in Tennessee. You got over 150 properties in your real estate portfolio. You a whole nother dude, but we gonna talk about that. Big salute to the chat. Make sure you hit the live stream. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you just make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you tapped into the channel. Salute to everybody. What's up? Joseph, man, I see you in the building. Buffalo Soldier, what it do, my G? Yeah, the Ghost, everybody that's in the chat. Yeah, man, it is what it is. We got to talk about this. Nasty work. Nasty work. Now, let me, before we get into this video, let me say this, man. The same dudes that assassinated young Dolph, when they get in front of those dog fur people, when they get in front of those Caucasian people, when they get in that courtroom, they get real polite. They have such manners. This is something that really need to be talked about. How 1 minute you a thug and you a shooter and you a killer when it come to a black man. And then when you get in that courtroom around them dog fur having people, it's yes ma'am and no ma'am. You a law-abiding citizen. You got your hands crossed. You got your feet crossed. You speaking up. You got your head up. You're speaking loud. You're articulating yourself. But when it come to young Dolph, you a gangster. You a shooter. You a slider. Nasty work, man. Nasty work. Now, I just want to play a part of this video before we go any further, man. Big salute to the chat. Y'all already know how we giving it up. We gonna talk about this. Now look at this. Look at that. Look at that white car come around that corner. Nasty work.
Yeah, this is right there. Stop it here. It's me.
Now, right there, like now, I'm gonna tell you something. This is why I had to sit with this. Dolph, he pull up. He go up into the cookie store. We see him going to the cookie shop. We see him shopping for his cookies. We see his brother in there who got a gun on him, but he don't got the Draco on him. And he is not good security because he ain't protecting the door. They is just in there lollygagging. Dolph, he in his phone. He can't stop looking in that phone. Whatever going on in that phone, he face down in that phone. When that young man pulled up and pulled that Draco, he put it right to that window. Dolph probably had his back to the window. He walked right up on Dolph and sent that shot to him. Nasty work, homie. Full-blown assassination. And see, again, this not going to be a live stream of me rehearsing what everybody already know, rehearsing what we already seen. But I did want to tap into it before I go into Big Juk, because we going to talk about Big Juk, CMG. we going to talk about the higher-ups and the elites. we going to talk about what really happened. Yeah, let's talk. It is what it is, homie. It's a different angle with this. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. This shit was disheartening, bro. It really did something to me. And it's just nasty work seeing the assassination of a young king, homie, in HD. I mean, this is clear footage. Look at this. This is clear. I mean, I'm talking sitting on something pretty. You feel me? In there buying cookies, living his life, homie.
Can you stop it? We're gonna back up. I might want to, yeah, back up a little bit. All right. First guy out of the car. Who's that?
It's me.
That's you. Which one of the guns do you have?
I got the new Draco stabbed on.
Okay, that's that semi-automatic weapon. Is that right?
Yeah.
You ever shot that thing before?
Nah, I know shit. I know.
Okay. You can proceed, Irish. That's your gap hoodie, is that right?
Yeah, it's me.
That's you. Who are you shooting at?
Don't.
He hit Dolph soon as he ran up to the window. You could tell that Dolph initially tried to run and he instantly fell. Because as soon as he fell, you could see homie slide to the left with that Draco and put more in him. And I ain't going, nasty work, because you got to understand something. Dolph fell by that window. That's why his arm was hanging out that window. So when he fell by that window, they stood right on top of him, bro. Blew him away. Yeah. Ask me, death penalty. Nasty work, homie. And again, with that, I don't even want to, man, that was crazy to see in HD like that. But let's really get into the meat and potatoes of this situation. No Diddy. Let's really talk about what everybody is in my DM asking me about. Empire, Death Row Records. Yo Gotti, CMG, Black Youngster, the Ops, the Rivals, right? Big Juk, so-called, put the hit on young Dolph. Cool. But you got to ask yourself this question. Who gave Big Juk the okay to put a hit on young Dolph? Who gave Big Juk the okay, the green light to put a hit on a young Dolph, on an investment like young Dolph? Because you got to understand something. Big Juk is only Yo Gotti's brother. Big Juk is not earning no money for the higher-ups and the elites. Big Juk is not an asset to the higher-ups and the elites. Yo Gotti is a huge asset for the higher-ups and the elites. Yo Gotti makes a lot of money for the higher-ups and the elites. So you got to ask yourself, when they say Big Juk put $100,000 hit on young Dolph, who gave him the okay to do that? Who did Big Juk talk to? Who did he get the okay from to do that? Here we go, homie. This where it get deep at. This where it get real at. Because everybody is now going to blame Big Juk only because Big Juk got his head blown off we gonna talk about why he got his head blown off. So you gotta understand something, right? In this business, when you dealing with money, when you dealing with investments, you not just gonna go and burn down somebody's house. You're not just gonna go and burn down somebody's establishment. You're not just gonna go and terminate an investment without getting the okay or the green light to terminate that investment, homie. And Young Dolph was an investment for Empire Death Row Records. Empire Death Row Records had money, had invested in Young Dolph. They were distributing his music. They were in business together. So it's no way, there is absolutely no way that Big Juk was just going to put $100,000 hit on $1 million investment. Because you got to know something, right? Being as though Yo Gotti is in the industry, being as though Yo Gotti is a huge investment for the higher ups and the elites. If his brother would have did that to Young Dolph without getting the okay from somebody, without getting the green light from somebody, then you know what? The money that they put in on Young Dolph would have fell in Yo Gotti's lap. He would have had to cover that investment. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So a conversation had to be had. A green light had to be given. Why would they give a green light on Dolph? Well, I told y'all a long time ago, these life insurance policies pay up way more. They pay out way more. Whew. You think they ain't have a $50 million, $100 million life insurance policy on Young Dolph? Yeah, it's a war going on in Memphis. You going against Young Dolph going against you. We inside, we doing business, but guess what? Young Dolph don't want to do business the way we want to do business with Young Dolph. We trying to get Young Dolph to sign a contract for $22 million. And guess what this young black man did? He took that money, he took that contract, he went live, and he made a fool of the higher ups and the elites. He made a fool out of Ghazi and Empire Death Row Records. Threw that contract on the car, told him, should I take the money or should I not take the money? Man, F the money. Do y'all remember that? Do y'all remember that? I'm trying to give y'all some game, homie. I'm trying to put y'all down on this. Big Juk would have never been able to pull the trigger on a Young Dolph for $100,000. That's petty money. That's cheap money. When they was just trying to give Young Dolph $22 million. So now ask yourself again, who the hell gave Big Juk the okay to get at Young Dolph? The young man said Big Juk had money on everybody's head. The whole PRE, he had money on everybody's head. Who gave him the green light to do that? Okay. Empire Death Row Records, allegedly. Ghazi, allegedly. The higher ups and the elites, homie. We gave Young Dolph an opportunity to get in bed with the higher ups and the elites. We gave Young Dolph an opportunity to get taken advantage of. We was going to give him $22 million, and we was going to take all of his publishing, all of his catalog. We was going to own all of that. Yeah. But you know what Dolph did? He said, nah. He said he was good. So guess what? That life insurance policy, we can exchange him for that. We can exchange him for that. $50 to $100 million life insurance. Because when you invest a certain amount of money into any entity, you are now allowed to take out insurance policies on such entity. Come on, baby. Come on. When these dudes give y'all record deals, you think they giving y'all record deals just because you talented? Yeah, you might have an opportunity to make that money back. You might have an opportunity to be an earner. But it's a whole bunch of fine print in there. Yeah, now we got an opportunity to put a life insurance policy on you. Big Juk,
Yo, GMB TV. I mean, they said Big Juk put $100,000 hit on
Young Dolph is not $100,000 nigga. Young Dolph is not he is not a hundred thousand there. He is not somebody that $100,000 is going to suffice, homie. 100 G's? And I told y'all before, I told y'all a long time ago, them life insurance policies pay out big, homie, in lump sums. So if Dolph wasn't going to give up his catalog, if Dolph wasn't going to give up the rights to his likeness, if Dolph wasn't going to let the higher-ups and the elites take over his empire, right? Yeah, because that's what they want to do. They want you to sign for that 22 million. They want you to sign over your catalog. They want you to sign over all your music. They want you to sign over a part of your publishing. They want you to sign over a part of your merch. Yeah, man, I'm trying to get y'all the game on this. Big Juk was a pawn on the chessboard, homie. They use Big Juk because Yo Gotti is an asset. Oh, yeah, Yo Gotti, he signed the contract a long time ago. Yo Gotti, he been to the Rock Nation parties. Yo Gotti, he been to the Diddy parties. Yo Gotti has been compromised. You see him laying up with Russell Simmons' niece and all that. You see. Yo Gotti has been compromised. Young Dolph was Young Dolph had not been compromised yet. So I'm here to tell y'all, this shit was set up perfectly, but I can see through the smoke and mirrors, man. I can see through the smoke and mirrors. So they didn't let it go through Yo Gotti. They didn't let Yo Gotti pull the trigger. They let his brother pull the trigger. Now let's get into this situation. Yeah, a couple years later, what happens? Big Juk get his head blown off. Big Juk got his head blown off. Live on camera. Yeah, he got sacrificed live on camera. Yeah, we all seen the footage. I saw the footage, homie. I ain't feel no way about it. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. Big Juk got his head blown off. Why did Big Juk have to get sacrificed? Hey, man, hit that like button, homie. I'm giving y'all this game, homie. We not going to stay long on this. I'm going to drop this game off, and I'm going to go on about my day. We going to go live again tonight. We going to talk more about this. But Big Juk got his head blown off. Well, you got to understand something. Once they picked up Straight Drop, once they picked up the two shooters, now we going to see if the shooters is going to ride out. We're going to see if the shooters is going to start talking. We're going to see how they going to handle this situation. And guess what? In due time, that guy that's testifying told the police, told the feds, told the investigators he was ready to talk. He said he came to his senses. Now, you gotta know something. The industry know. The higher-ups and the elite get word. Oh, homie going to testify. Homie's a rat. He's talking. He gonna snitch. He can't. He's gonna tell. He's gonna tell that Big Juk put that hit on Dolph. Now imagine if Big Juk was alive right now. What would be happening? Big Juk ass would be in custody. Big Juk ass would be going to jail like Puffy. Big Juk ass would be, he might face the death penalty for what he did to young Dolph. For co-conspiring and putting that hit on Dolph. What you think Big Juk was going to do after a year in jail, after 2 years in jail, after 3 years in jail? What you think Big Juk was going to do if he would have got in police custody? What you think Big Juk was going to do when you took him and you put him in federal custody and you took him away from all that pussy and all that money and all those drugs and all that weed and took him away from his family? Big Juk was going to rat. Big Juk was going to tell. And the higher-ups and the elites knew that. So now what listen, Yo Gotti. Yo Gotti, listen to me. We can't afford your brother getting wrapped up in this. And he going to jail because homie gonna tell on him. The paper trail lead to Big Juk. And guess what? Big Juk lead to the higher-ups and the elites. Yo, Gotti, we can't afford your brother going to jail. We can't afford that. Now, we gonna spare you, but your brother gotta go, homie. Your brother gotta die. We cannot afford Big Juk to get into federal custody, because once Big Juk is in federal custody, we have no more say so. We cannot control the narrative. And if Big Juk decide to tell, guess what they gonna ask Big Juk? Guess what they gonna ask Big Juk? They gonna say, Big Juk, who gave you the green light to assassinate young Dolph? Now listen, Big Juk, we know that you ain't no factor in this industry. You not no celebrity in this industry. You don't make no money for the higher-ups and the elites in this industry. You don't call no shots. So who gave you that green light? Who told you it was all right to do what you did? Was it Yo Gotti? Because we know you wouldn't have pulled the trigger like that without Yo Gotti saying it's okay. You wouldn't have did none of this shit that you did if somebody didn't give you the green light, homie. Now, guess what? Big Juk ain't telling on his brother. The same dude that provide for his mama, the same dude that provide for his family, his brother. He not gonna tell on his brother, but guess who he would have told on? Ghazi, allegedly. Empire State Death Row Records, allegedly. The higher-ups and the elites. Juk would have got there in jail after home. So once homie said he was testifying, Juk ass gotta go. So now you can see, now that I'm painting this picture for you, why Big Juk got his head blown off at a repass out there in Memphis, Tennessee. Why was all those police around and Big Juk still got his ass murdered. Why Yo Gotti didn't look like he was too stressed out about it. We didn't see Yo Gotti go through any emotion. Like, Yo Gotti looked the same. He didn't, you understand? He didn't look like you thought somebody would look when a brother get their head blown off live on camera, homie. You know why? Because Yo Gotti already knew it was going to happen. Yo Gotti already knew his brother had to go, and there was nothing he could do about it. All Yo Gotti could do was prepare himself to move on. You thought it was a coincidence that Big Juk stayed at the repath and Yo Gotti hopped his ass in that black truck and got his ass out of town ASAP? You thought that was a coincidence? Hell no. Yo Gotti knew Juk was about to get his head blown off. Because the higher-ups and the elites already knew that young boy was about to start talking. He was about to rap. He was about to snitch. And that's what he just did. Big Juk put the hit on Yo Gotti. Well, I mean on Young Dolph. Well, guess what? The higher-ups and the elites put a hit on Juk. Yeah. Come on, man. Come on, man. Ain't nobody giving y'all this game like this. When this dude would have told on Big Juk, he's going into federal custody. And now all we got to do is wait 1 year, 2 years. 3 years in, Big Juk is ready to talk. Yeah, Big Juk say he ready to talk. He want to go into protective custody. He is ready to talk. Well, guess what? Big Juk. Number one question. Who gave you the okay? Who gave you the green light to run down on young Dolph? Oh, well, we had a conversation with Ghazi. We had a conversation with Empire Death Row Records and a few other little hat people. It was some white people. They were sitting in a room. They told me that it was okay to do what I needed to do with young Dolph, just to leave my brother out. That's what he was about to do. Well, who? Ghazi, this guy, that guy. That's what was about to happen. That's why Big Juk is no longer here. He didn't just get ran down on. That shit ain't just happen like that. So for everybody in my DMs asking about, Empire Death Row Records, asking about the higher ups and the elites, what I'm here to tell you is, yeah, homie, yeah. They played chess at the highest level. And now that they got rid of Big Juk, that frees up Yo Gotti. That frees up Ghazi. That frees up Empire Death Row Records. And now everything can be put on Big Juk, who is dead in the ground. Well, who did? Big Juk did it. Who put the hit out? Big Juk put the hit out. Who said? Big Juk said this. Who said Big Juk did that? Did Yo Gotti? Yo Gotti ain't have nothing to do with it. Did you talk? No, we didn't talk to Yo Gotti. Did Yo Gotti know? Yo Gotti did. Big Juk did, Eric. See, this is going to free up Yo Gotti because Yo Gotti is an investment. Yo Gotti is still here earning for the higher ups and the elites. He's still getting money for the higher ups and the elites. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be, homie. You gotta be able to know. And matter of fact, you don't gotta be able to know. That's my job. That's what I do here. I see through the smoke and mirrors. And we going live again tonight. So I got some business to handle. I got some running around to do. I just got back to the big house. I'm probably gonna take a nap and everything. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm gonna recharge my batteries, and we gonna go in on this again. We gonna talk more about this. Dolph did not want to get in bed with the higher ups and the elites. They offered him 22 million. 22 million. They thought that would suffice. They thought that was sufficient. And Dolph said, man, I ain't rocking with that. I'm good on that. You understand what I'm saying? When Dolph turned down that 22 million, that's when the place started getting put in place. Okay, he's not budging. Guess what? This town ain't big enough for two of these guys. One guy's in bed with us. The other guy don't want to get down. The other guy act like he know what's going on. We gonna get rid of him. But we gonna use Big Juk to get rid. And if everything goes smoothly, Big Juk, you good. They find straight drop. They find the shooters. Everybody go to jail and play their part and stay down and don't talk. You good. But if those dudes go to jail and implement anybody that could connect to the higher ups and the elites, now we gonna lay. Now niggas gotta go. Now niggas gotta go, homie. Yeah, we not gonna get rid of Yo Gotti because Yo Gotti is an earner. Yo Gotti is making millions of dollars a year for the higher ups and the elite. He bringing in millions of dollars, but Big Juk, nigga, you ain't no factor. You don't make no money. You don't bring in no paper for the higher ups and the elites. These people ain't getting no money. Big Juk ass gotta go. Big Juk is the wink link. Big Juk is the dude that can connect everything to us. Salute to the chat. Salute to the chat. Yeah. The topic is Big Juk putting that hit on Young Dolph. But again, like I said, who the hell gave Big Juk the green light to put a hit on Young Dolph? $100,000? Young Dolph had $100,000 in jewelry on. Young Dolph car costs over $100,000. Young Dolph is not $100,000 nigga, homie. Young Dolph is not a dude that you get away with putting $100K on. You know how much money, if Young Dolph would have signed that contract for 22 million, you know how much money he would have made for the higher ups in the elite off his catalog alone? He owned his catalog. His kids now own his catalog. If he would have signed that contract, then he would have died. All his money in his catalog would be going to the higher ups. You think a nigga could put $100K on in a Young Dolph? You really believe that? Y'all really gonna roll with that? This shit is too easy, homie. It's so easy to see. So y'all believe a nigga like Young Dolph, you could just take I could put 100 G's on. You think I could put 100 G's on a Young Dolph and niggas to do it? Hell no. You think a nigga, Come on, homie. 100,000 is no paper, son. That's no paper. That was a pawn being moved on the chessboard, nigga. Yeah. Listen, man. Put some money on them. Whatever your young boys will do, whatever they will move for, we want them to move. We don't want them playing around. We want enough money for them to believe that they can move right now. So for some little niggas like just straight dropping all them boys, when you say 100,000, they think it's a lot of money. Yeah, you know a lot of these a lot of these niggas that be on YouTube, a lot of these dudes that ain't really lived their life and really made set no footprint and set no precedents in this world. When you say 100 G's, they think it's a lot of money. So all straight drop had to do was say, I got 100K on him. Niggas is moving now. He ain't even gonna give you the 100K because nigga, you a pawn, nigga. You about to get sacrificed. They know you going to jail. You ain't gonna be out long enough to spend the $100,000 I told you I was gonna give you. Nigga, that's young Dolph. You don't understand. He's $100 million nigga. When you wanna touch a dude like young Dolph, you need to say, listen, I got 1.5, get rid of him. That one, nigga, I got 1.5, get rid of him. We gonna move you and your family out of state. We already connected. All you gotta do is get rid of him. A nigga tell you 100 G's for young Dolph, you got to be a fool to think that's real. Nigga, 100,000? That nigga chain is more than that nigga car's more. This shit ain't adding up, homie. Something ain't right. But these young, dumb, high, motherfucker high on lean, he popping ecstasy, he smoking weed all day, he smoking cigarettes, the nigga high as a fucking light bill. He hear 100,000 and he run down on young Dolph like a goddamn not understanding you. But see, this where, salute to the chat, this where it get deep at too. This where you got to understand, you got to be able to follow through the smoke and mirrors as well, right? The young boy sitting in court, he said, the lawyer said, why you wanna, what's going on? He said, listen, I came to my senses. Because after you sit in jail and all that dope wear off, all that weed, all that nicotine, you could think clear-minded now. You realize these niggas played me, homie. Nigga told me $100,000. Nigga only gave me 800 out. He didn't even give me 1,000, but he told me $100,000 to kill a nigga like young Dolph. Look at this shit. Look what's going on around me for 100 G's. It ain't worth it. But you ain't know that when you was high. So he talking now. And I mean, he talking, he don't care. He's saying names. He describing everything to a T. He talking, I mean, he's lining everything up. This was probably the last thing Big Juk thought was gonna happen. These my young shooters. I told him I'm gonna give them 100,000. These niggas is high. These niggas gonna go to jail. They gonna, they ain't gonna say nothing. Homie had to sign some paperwork. Homie had to talk to the feds. Homie had to talk to the authorities. And he had to let them know, I'm going to testify. This shit was set up months ago, maybe years ago. Once he said he going to testify, now they got to protect him. They got him somewhere in protective custody. They making sure nobody can't get their hands on him. Nobody can't assassinate him. And they got his ass on that motherfucking bench. They got his ass in that courtroom and he talking and he's saying Big Juk. Well, now once they get their hands on Big Juk, if Big Juk was alive, how long you think it was to been before Big Juk start talking? Oh yeah, his ass was gonna rat. Big Juk would have turned to a rat, homie. Big Juk ass in about 4 or 5, I give him 5 years tops, 5 years in federal custody. Knowing how many people love young Dolph, How many people riding for young Dolph? They would have been spitting in his food. They would have been pissing in his iced tea. They would have been doing all of that to Big Juk while he was in jail in protective custody. They would have been shitting. They would have been taking a number 2 in his meatloaf. You understand what I'm saying? That's how it get in jail when you do something like that to a young Dolph, to a Nipsey Hussle, somebody that people love, they admire, they revere. So I give Big Juk 5 years tops. His ass would have went to jail. He would have had a year or 2 of drinking piss and eating feces, right? Because they would have been mixing that number 2. They would have been putting that in his meatloaf. Yeah, his iced tea and his fruit punch, they would have been pissing in his fruit punch. That nigga would have lost 80 pounds in there. That nigga would have been looking crazy in there. And guess what? The feds coming back every month. Big Juk, do you want to talk? Hey, Big Juk, look, we can get you out of here, homie. You ain't got to live like this. You got vital information. We don't want you, Big Juk. We want who gave you the green light. Who told you it was okay to put 100K on fucking young Dolph? Because we know that ain't your lane. That ain't what you do. Your brother is worth hundreds of millions of dollars. You would at least had to got an okay from him. And if it wasn't your brother, then who was it? Big Juk, you ain't got to live like this no more. You know what they doing to your food, homie? We know what they doing to your food. We know what those COs is doing to your juice. Yeah, smell like a whole goddamn crock of shit in here. We smell it. You smell like a sewer. You ready to talk or not? And guess what? Yes, sir, I'm ready to talk. I'm ready. If you could put me in protective custody, if you could put my family in protective custody, you know what? I can't do it no more. I'm ready to talk. Big Juk was the only one that could connect Ghazi, Empire, Death Row Records, the higher-ups and the elites at those those record labels, those music execs, those CEOs. Now do your due diligence and go back and look at how Big Juk got taken out. Look at the video with Big Juk. He got a bullet in his head. He got a bullet in his face. He bleeding all over the damn place. Look at the video. And you'll be able to see exactly what I'm telling you. That wasn't just some young niggas running down on him. They knew he was going to be there. Hey, just the perfect time. Listen, Gotti, get in, get out. I understand that's your uncle. I understand you want to go to the funeral. That's cool. You and your lady go to the funeral. Get in and get the fuck out of there. And guess what Gotti did? He went to the funeral and he got out of there. He didn't take his mama with him. He ain't take his auntie with him. He got out the funeral and he went directly to the airport. And guess what? Soon as he left, what happened? Big Juk get his head blown off. Yeah. Now when you watch this trial, because it's a circus and it's a distraction. Dolph been gone. It's a distraction. It's no coincidence this shit is happening right now. As we speak, it's no coincidence, but that's a whole nother, live stream. Watch this live stream and watch how everything is pinned on Big Juk. You think Gotti ain't know what the hell his brother was doing? Gotti is the head of a conglomerate. Gotti is the head of CMG. Gotti is $100 million nigga. His little brother, Big Juk, who ain't made a record, he ain't got no publishing, he ain't went platinum, he ain't got no streaming. This nigga don't got nothing going on other than being Yo Gotti's brother. You think Gotti ain't know? He ain't have a hand in it? Big Juk was the loose end, the only loose end that was capable of telling on the higher ups in it. Gotti ain't never gonna open his mouth about the higher ups in the elites. Gotti done already got in bed with the higher ups in the elites. Gotti probably on one of those Diddy videos. Gotti done already went to the parties. Gotti done already got down with the trend. Listen, man, you understand what I'm saying? Gotti done been to the all-white parties. Gotti done been to the Hamptons. Gotti done been to the Rock Nation parties. Gotti done already sold and signed contracts and got in bed with the higher ups and the elites. So Gotti ain't never gonna tell. Gotti ain't, but Jook. Yeah, homie. Jook. Yeah. He don't got a real connection to the higher ups and the elites. He ain't in bed with the higher ups and the elites. It don't matter if he was on tape or not. That nigga is not, they ain't invested nothing in Big Juk. Now you can see clearly when you watch this trial moving forward, you can say, damn.
Big Juk put a hit on your guy. Big Juk did this. Big Juk did that.
Big Juk ass is dead. So now Big Juk just did everything. So you telling me Big Juk, under Yo Gotti, he didn't have to check in with Gotti. He didn't have to check in with the higher ups. He didn't have to check in with Ghazi. And you know, when you dealing in boss mentality, when you a boss, right? And I'm doing business with you. I'm trying to do business with your op. I'm trying to do business with his op. I'm doing business with everybody, right? We all know that, you know, I got an investment in you. I done invested $100 million in you. I offered Dolph $22 million. He didn't take it, but I'm trying to sink my teeth in the young Dolph. You not just going to get rid of young Dolph, knowing goddamn well I'm trying to get Dolph his publishing. I'm trying to get his marketing. I'm trying to get his merch. I'm trying to get his catalog. You know what I'm trying to do. Everybody know I'm trying to get Dolph to get down with the higher ups and the elites. And you think you just gonna let your little brother put a measly $100,000 on him? Because if it's like it's a mob. It's like the mob. It's some mobster. This is mob type mentality. MJ, what it do? I see you in the chat. What it do, homie? Yeah. I ain't went to the barber. I ain't did nothing. I came straight to the big house and I'm locked in with the people. Because everybody talking about this trial, everybody is talking about what this dude is testifying to, but nobody is connecting the dots. That's what we do over here. So don't worry, you know what I'm saying? I clean up nice, man. I clean up nice, you know what I mean? But right now, we thugged out. I ain't worried about getting pretty, nigga. I ain't worried about none of that. I'm trying to invest. So one of your people put $100,000 on $1 million investment, and now he dead. Guess what happens when you do that unsanctioned? Guess what happens when you make a play like that and we ain't give you the green light to do that? Guess what happens? That investment has to be paid back. That investment now falls in your lap. So since you went out there, you smoked young Dolph, knowing we was trying to get in bed with young Dolph, knowing what we was trying to do with him business-wise, and you kill him, nigga, now you owe. Either you owe or your ass get whacked. One of the two. Gotti would have sat down with the higher ups and the elites and said, spare my brother life. He didn't know what he was doing. How much is it going to cost to clear this up? Well, listen, Gotti, man, you know, we was offering Dolph $22 million, but we was looking to make $1 billion off him. We was looking to make 500 million off him. Now, the insurance policy, that's already our money. That ain't got nothing to do with y'all. You understand? We might, by the time we got done with Young Dolph, we might have had $1 billion insurance policy. We might have had a $800 million insurance policy after we started making that good money off of them. So this is what we need. We need 500 million from you. We need 250 million from you, and that'll square us away. That's what would have had to happen if Jook just put a hit on Dolph and nobody knew about it, and he just made a play like that with nobody saying go. Since he did get a green light, and I am not saying allegedly, since the green light was given, he had to die because they could not risk him talking about that meeting. They could not risk nobody sitting down with Big Juk and him explaining and him breaking down the meeting, the phone call, you know, the sit down, the Bonzini meeting that said, go ahead and do it. Get it done and do it clean. Make sure it don't come back to us, and damn sure make sure it don't come back to you, and everything will be smooth. We'll let this shit die over. In a few years, nobody will really care, and we can move on and do business. That's what he would have explained to the feds. That's what Big Juk ass would have got on the stand and started talking about after 2 or 3 years of drinking piss and eating feces. Because that's what they doing. You know that's what they doing to homie out there in LA, right? You know that's what they doing to shitty cuz. Yeah, them peanut butter and jelly sandwiches is shitty cuz. Yeah, that meatloaf and that mystery meat that he that's shitty, cuz. You better know it. You better know it. You better know them COs is pissing in his iced tea. So what you thought? What you thought was gonna happen to Big Juk with all the COs and all the people out there that love Dolph? Yeah, they was going, and after about 2 years, I would have gave him 24 months. Big Juk was gonna tell. And he was going, and not only was he going to tell, but he was going to save his brother. Listen, man, Gotti ain't have nothing to do with it. Ghazi, Empire, Death Row Records, and a few other higher-ups in the elites, they pulled me to the side, and they gave me an ultimatum. They gave me the green light, and they told me what I could do and how I could do it, and they told me, and they promised me this amount of money. They promised me this amount of success. They promised me. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Salute to the chat. I've been figured it out. Chill season. You must be new to the chat. You must be new to the channel. Maybe you aren't. Listen, man. Go and look at my old videos on Young Dolph. When Young Dolph got assassinated, look at those videos. 250,000 views. 180,000 views. 310,000 views. 80,000 views here, 90,000. This what made my channel go viral. When I started giving up this game about what happened to Young Dolph, when I came and I gave y'all that pure dope, and I'm not sugarcoating it. I'm not just reciting what we saw in the trial. I'm not just repeating what people is saying. I'm going further. I'm scratching the surface. I'm going deeper than rap, homie. Yeah, those videos, that's when I was going viral. Now listen to me, chill season. After I started going viral and exposing the higher-ups and the elites when it come to Young Dolph, right? That's when they shadow banned my channel. I'm just now getting my channel back where it need to be at. I'm just now getting my channel on a certain level. You understand what I'm saying? I'm just now getting back. Yo, I got videos. Zip, all these content creators, they ain't doing numbers like I was doing numbers. They never went viral like me. That's why I don't say nothing. It is what it is, homie. Like, I ain't in this shit. I ain't going back and forth. I got videos, pre-recorded videos with 250,000 views on them. I got pre-recorded videos that did 90,000, 80,000, 110,000, 300,000, 200,000, back to back to back to back. Because it's easy to just say Young Dolph got assassinated. It's easy to say Big Juk put a hit on Young Dolph. But when we go deeper than rap, when we start pointing the finger at the higher-ups and the elites and showing how they got their hand in the pot over and over and over again, that's when it get real, homie. That's when it get deep, it get wicked, and it's always deeper than rap. That's when you scratching the surface. So yeah, salute, chill season. Yeah, do that. I got you wouldn't believe how many notifications every day that I get on videos that I did 2 years ago. People still comment on them joints. They still, I got Nipsey Hussle shorts that I did months ago. People be, I wake up every day and it's multiple different comments on these old ass videos with people going back into the archives. Go into my videos and put popular video. Let me show you something. Big salute to the chat, man. Salute chill season. I'm glad you said that. You know what I'm saying? Before I do that, yeah, nasty work.
All right, now back it up again.
Shit was terrible, man. Salute the Dolph's brother.
Back it up for Justin getting out of the car.
Shit was horrible, man. Horrible. Horrible work, man. I mean, big salute to the chat. Horrible work, man. Big salute to Dolph's brother. I'm gonna talk about that for a few minutes as well. Dolph's brother, man. I gotta salute him, but I still just feel like, hold on. Let's look at something real quick. Look at this. Salute to the chat. Look at this. Chill season. Empire Death Row. Empire Records exposed Young Dolph, Mo 3, King Von. 210 views. That shit did 210 views in like a day. That shit did like 100 views in a day. 100 views. Exposing Empire Records, Young Dolph. Young Dolph had 100 million in real estate. 124,000 views. You understand what I'm saying? Listen, bro. I've been doing this. Young Dolph. Been doing this. I've been doing this. This one I went viral. This what made my channel what it is. Young Dolph. So, I say that to say this, man. I'm not one of these YouTubers that's just talking about this because it's hot. I'm not one of these YouTubers that's just talking about this because it's popping. I'm not just doing it because, oh, yeah. You saw that? Nah, it's all good, chill. Hey, chill season. It's all good. You ain't had to retract that. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's Jim Jones with a glizzy to his mouth. Right there. Go tap on that. Yeah, that's Jim Jones with a glizzy. So, this would separate me from everybody. I feel like in YouTube, carve out a lane for the real and stay in it. Carve out a lane for yourself and stay in it, homie. And that's what I've been doing over the years with this YouTube thing. You got to understand, I would easily be at 100,000, 200,000 subscribers if I did the work for the higher ups and the elites. If I pushed the agenda, if I satisfied the quota for the higher ups and the elites. But for me, I'm standing on business, homie. I'm standing on business. I'm one of the ones that's going against the grain. I'm one of the ones that's going against the wave, homie. I create the waves. You understand what I'm saying? So let's look at this. Let's check this out real quick. Big salute to the chat, man.
What's 100 millionaire. They killed my brother, dog. I said up here, nigga, I just talked to Dolph 2 days ago. I talked to Dolph 2 days ago. 2 fucking days ago, I talked to Dolph. This nigga healthy, talking good, in good spirit. This nigga everything. Now, after everything got exposed to the world, now my nigga dead.
See, I've been giving the game up on this. I've been on business, homie. Now, let's approach this from another angle, right? Like I said, his brother. Dolph and his brother was so laid back, they were so relaxed that, the Grand Reaper creeped up on him and he wasn't prepared. He wasn't ready. But I gotta salute Dolph brother for sending them shots back. As they was shooting Dolph down like that, as they was assassinating Dolph, his brother put a bullet in both of their ass. I gotta salute his brother for that. Big salute, homie. I wish you would have had the Draco on you. You understand what I'm saying? I wish that his brother would have really been doing his own security work, because that, you gotta know, so that's a big ass glass. And it would have took nothing to keep your eye on the road, keep your eye on the street. You got 100 millionaire, you got a big time rapper, you got a celebrity inside this building. It would have been smart to just really been on security business, but he fumbling around the store. He looking at his phone. Dolph looking at his phone. Homie crept up with that mask, put that gun right to the window. Game over. Game over. Dolph might have survived that first shot. He might have survived that one. But these down here, ain't no surviving that. Once homie made his way, Dolph fell. Dolph got hit right here. He tried to run and he fell right there. And homie was on top of him. Is what it is and it'll be what it's gonna be, my G. The game is the game, and we gonna talk more about this. But remember this here. This is you ain't heard nobody else say this. You ain't heard nobody tell you that Big Juk got the green light from Yo Gotti, Ghazi, and the higher ups and the elites, Empire, Death Row Records. You ain't heard nobody put a finger on that. You ain't heard nobody connect the dots on that. Everybody just think Big Juk just put a hit out on Dolph. Imagine that. Imagine a nigga like Big Juk just putting hits out on people without his brother knowing, without the higher ups and the elites knowing. Imagine him just being bold enough to do some shit like that. Bro, you don't just touch these celebrities. This shit got to be orchestrated. It's a sacrifice. You understand? It's a sacrifice. It got to be well orchestrated. It got to be laid out. The plan got to be right. Certain strings got to be cut if necessary. Woo. Woo. Yeah, we're the Geppetto right here. It's the Geppetto right here. We pulling the strings, homie. And if this don't go right, we gonna cut that string. If that don't go right, we gonna cut that string. We're gonna cut the strings, my G. Big Juk had to go. Better in the grave than in federal custody. That nigga was better off in the grave than in federal custody. Now we're gonna double back a little later, man, and we're gonna definitely go in and we're gonna talk some more about this. This is Young Dolph trial day one that we talking about. Big Juk, the $100,000 hit. These youngsters, man. These youngsters. Damn, Dolph. Did him dirty. But before I close out, I want to kind of talk about, again, Young Dolph's real estate portfolio. Man. Nobody knew until he died. Nobody knew until he died. Nah. What other YouTuber you heard connect the dots like that, homie? That's how you know I ain't get it from no other YouTuber. Because you can't name one YouTuber that told you Big Juk got the green light from Empire Death Row Records, from Ghazi, from the higher-ups and the elites, from these record execs. You ain't heard one other YouTuber tell you they had a $50 million life insurance policy on young Dolph, and they was trying to get more. That's one of the reasons they was trying to give him that 22 million. You ain't heard nobody. Tell me who you heard say that. And I'll do. This shit is raw, pure, uncut, homie. You gonna go repeat what I'm telling you now. I get to talking like this, and then I scroll through YouTube, and then I start seeing people, oh, yeah, taking my shit, rewording it, saying it this way and saying it that way. Come on, man. Come on, man. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be, man. I'm a trendsetter. I'm a wave creator, man. When you create the waves, homie, they shadow ban you. If you know, it just depends on what wave you trying to create. You pushing that Saucy Santana wave, yes, I have 400,000 subscribers. You talking about homosexual activity, you will have 400,000 subscribers. You talking about kill, 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 death, death, death. I'm a hooligan, I'm a thug, I'm this, that, and the third. You might start getting some traction. When you pointing the finger at dumb people like this, because they want you to think young Jook had, they want to put, so everything about to get put on young Jook, Big Juk. He was just so smart. He was just so powerful. Big Juk had $100,000 hit on the man, and we gonna put it all on. Y'all stupid enough to follow that narrative. When you go against the grain, that's when they slow you down, homie. So I ain't heard no other YouTubers. I don't watch niggas like that. I don't watch them like that to know what they talk. I'm telling you that the few YouTubers that I do pay attention to, all coming from the same angle. They all telling y'all the same shit. They all going through the same video. This video right here. All YouTubers that you looking at right now in the last 24 hours is watching this video and talking about this video and going through different angles of this video. I'm telling you, Big Juk had to go. I'm telling you, they knew that homie was going to rap a year ago. They knew that homie was going to testify a year ago. And they told Gotti, your brother got to go. Is it anything we can do about it? Nah, it's nothing we can do about it. He's in federal custody. They got him protected. He already signed the paperwork. He already said he's going to testify. He's already talking in those back rooms right now. They done brought him McDonald's, Wendy's, Taco Bell. They done gave him all kind of Cokes and Pepsis. He's already talking. He's already implicated Big Juk. When this shit go to trial, Big Juk ass is going to be in federal custody. It's nothing we can do. Big Juk stand up, yo. I'm telling you, Big Juk ain't gonna tell nobody. Big Juk only gonna do that. Nah, listen, Gotti. They gonna be defecating in Big Juk's tacos. His taco meat gonna be shitty, cuz. They gonna be pissing in his orange juice. They gonna be pissing in his apple juice. They're gonna be pissing in his Kool-Aid. They're gonna be pissing in his iced tea. There's nothing we can do to protect them in there in federal custody. And trust me, his tacos is gonna be shitty, cuz. How long you think your big brother gonna be able to ride? How long you think your big brother gonna sit in that jail cell away from his wife, away from his family, eating feces and drinking piss before he tell the federal government, before they break him, before he accept protective custody? How long you think it ain't gonna take long, Gotti? We gotta get rid of him. Look at Gotti YouTube. Look at Gotti Instagram. Look at pictures of Yo Gotti in the last year or so. Look how he ain't really smiling. He ain't happy, bro. He got that look like big decisions gotta be made. And he gotta eat that. Like in Goodfellas at the end where they smoke homie in that room and they made a phone call and say, yo, how did everything go? And they say, yo, you know, we had to whack him. He said, what you mean? There's nothing we could do about it. You know what I'm saying? We tried to, it's nothing we could do about it. It's nothing like, yeah, it's nothing we could do about it, homie. The motherfucker get to slamming the phone. Boom, boom, boom. Cause it's nothing you going, the higher ups in the elites already made the call, my G. You gotta go. Look at his pictures, you can tell. And then when you look at the situation with Big Juk, look how they laid him out. All them police officers and shit that was at that funeral, that was a well-known kingpin, drug dealer. Everybody knew that young Yo Gotti and his brother and his mother and his family was gonna be at that funeral. Everybody knew it. The feds knew they was gonna be there. The local police officers knew that they was gonna be there. Everybody knew that they was gonna be there. You think some young niggas would have just ran down, shot, and they got away? Them niggas got away. They drove in there, killed Big Juk, and got away. How did that happen? That was a orchestrated hit, my G. That was an assassination of a soon-to-be federal informant. Big Juk was gonna turn federal informant. Yeah. Yeah. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. So I had to put that out there. I ain't get this from nobody. They getting this shit from me, homie. I ain't get this from nobody. They getting it from me. And that's okay. I don't do no tripping about that. You're welcome. Yeah. Yo Gotti taking pictures with his girl. He's never smiling. He got his girlfriend, Angela Simmons. She be in bathing suits, ass out. Yeah, she be out, skin out. You see that nigga, he might look this way, look that way. He ain't smiling at all. It ain't no teeth being shown because in the back of his mind, damn, to save me, to save us, I had to give my brother up. Yeah. And I go through the content creators that been doing content on this in the last 24 hours and see who told you that. See who told you this. Big salute to the chat, man. We going live again tonight. We ain't stopping. You know what I'm saying? We gonna go live again tonight because it's more to this. Oh, it's more to this. I don't want to give it all up right now. You know what I'm saying? I really want to just, like I said, we're going to go live again tonight. You know what I'm saying? I got some things I got to do. I got some errands I got to run. But it's more, it's deeper than rap, homie. It's deeper than rap. Because yeah, they wanted Dolph. They wanted Dolph for his publishing. They wanted Dolph for his music accolades and his catalog and X, Y, and Z. But you got to understand something. You know, it's really about a narrative. And we're going to talk more about that tonight. That's why I brought up the real estate and the properties. Same thing with Nipsey Hussle. Oh, we going to line this up. We're going to talk about this. Salute to Nipsey, man. RP to Nip, RP to Young Dolph. That's why I brought up them properties. That's a whole nother angle. We're going to go live tonight. We're going to talk more about what they showing in these trials. And we're going to elaborate on a deeper reason why Young Dolph, yeah, why they did Young Dolph like they did him, man. Why they did Young Dolph like they did him, man. Nasty work.
Is that right? You ever shot that thing before?
I know, sir. I know.
Okay. You can proceed, Irish.
Nasty work.
That's your Gap hoodie, is that right?
Yeah,
That's you, who you're shooting at?
I know.
All right, now back it up again, Miss Irish, if you would. Back it up for Justin getting out of the car. All right, who's the second person here?
When he hit Dolph, he ran up to that window. Now, again, man, shit was nasty work, B. Nasty work, B. It was nasty, man. I ain't gonna lie, like, we just talking now, you know what I mean? But look at that man. A fucking king
All
right
right,
there.
stop the doors. Who is that? That's young dog. All right. And who is that? That's his brother. Is his brother's name Marcus? Yes, sir. Do you know Marcus? Yes, sir. Has this event had a significant impact on Marcus? Yes, sir. Did Marcus sometimes help with Dolph security? Yes, sir. Let's go inside the rest of the city on the side. Is that the car arriving? Yes, sir. Do you know where they were arriving from? No, sir, I don't. Do you know if Dolph had been to Makia's before? Yes, sir. Had you ever been there with him? No, sir. Had you ever even tried the cookies there? No, sir. He ever talked to you about the cookies? Yes, sir. Is that Dolph? Yes, sir. The chain around his neck, is that the PRE chain? Yes.
Nasty work. You gotta understand something, right? Dolph made that order, right? He made that order, and then he put his face back in that phone, and he had his back to that window. When homie pulled up right here, he shot right. He hit Dolph. Boom. Dolph went this way. He tried to run and he fell right here, or like right over there. And that's when they lit him up. You know what I mean? So nasty work. But like I said, we're gonna talk more about a deeper angle. Now, this is just scratching the surface. Big Juk is just a pawn on the chessboard, homie. He's just a pawn in this game. These niggas is pawns. Dolph, Gotti, pawns when it come to the higher ups and the elites. They doing, it's so many wheels turning. You don't even know all of the angles, all of the agendas that they pushing, all of the reasons why they get rid of these young kings, these black kings. But I'm here to help you through that. So it is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. And you gotta know, last but not least, right? The way he did this shit was so sloppy. They didn't get a chance to get their hands on the publishing. They didn't get a chance to get their hands on Dolph's catalog. They didn't get a chance to get their hands on his merch and his rights. They didn't get a chance to get their hands on his likeness. They didn't get a chance to get their hands on none of this shit that they was trying to get. Only thing they did capitalize off of was the insurance policy, the life insurance policy. 50 to 100 million straight out. They can live. They say, we can live with that. Dolph family got it. So they didn't get a chance to sink their teeth in the young Dolph the way they really wanted to. But they got something out of it. You understand? And deeper than rap and deeper than money and deeper than, monetary gain, it's a whole nother angle that they was looking at. That Jook, Gotti, nobody was even paying attention to. Dolph, nobody was even understanding. And we're going to talk about that later tonight. We're going to talk about that later tonight, my G. Yeah. I'm gonna say free Diddy too. We could talk about that later too. I'm gonna say free Diddy as well. Hell yeah. That's a whole nother live stream though. We might do that because while I'm at the big house, y'all know I'm going live. So listen, man, you already know what time it is. It's your boy, Grown Man Business TV. Feel what I'm saying? You can tap in, you can tap out, but you know my slogan. You know what I suggest. And I suggest you tap in. I suggest you tap into this grown man business. I suggest you tap into this grown man content at all times. You already know what it is. It's straight off the brick into the bottles. Straight off the bricks into the bottles. Straight raw, pure, uncut, no extras, no preservatives. We not sugarcoat nothing. We not dressing nothing up. I'm giving you this game straight raw, my G. Pure dope. Pure dope right off the brick into the bottles. Big Juk put $100,000 on young Dolph head, but who gave Big Juk the okay to do that? Who gave the green light? Who pushed the go button? Because it damn sure was not Big Juk. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. Big salute to the chat. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. We going live later tonight. Make sure you get that notification and that you locked in to the Realest channel on YouTube, Grown Man Business TV. Carved out a lane for the real, and I'm the only one in it. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be.